addiction can be romantic. If Keith Richards is in the book several times, can kind of create this mythos of heroin addiction, and why can't we create a mythos of recovery? Because to me, recovery is an adventure. This is an adventure for me. This is hard. I mean, anything that's difficult, anything where you're giving up something that you love, sometimes for other people, sometimes hopefully for yourself. And so there are a lot of quotes about mazes, about heroism, about journeys, because to me, I don't want to live a dull life. I mean, the thing about being an alcoholic is drinking is what makes things important. It gives them significance. If you're at an event and there's no bar, it might as well not happen. So, to me, the poetry, and they're not all poetry. We have a tweet by Ricky Gervais. Spider-Man 2 is in this. I was very proud of that. Because people hear that, they hear literature, and they sort of go, "Ooh, no, I don't want that." And so I'm a big believer that this stuff is medicinal. I think that's one thing that also, I'm a big Walt Whitman fan. And if you read Walt Whitman, he was a nurse in the Civil War. People don't know that. And so you read Leaves of Grass, and he's basically tending to you. The one quote we have is he says, "Oh, despairer, here is my neck. By God, you will not go down. Hang your full weight upon me. I buoy you up. I dilate you with tremendous breath." And I would read that like if I was down. The thing about giving up drinking is it makes your life better, but it doesn't end all your problems. And so you have all these problems still, and you're trying to cope with them. And every once in a while, a hand in the back goes, you could drink, they just elected this guy president. Now it's time to drink. And you have to kind of say, no, it's still a bad idea. And then literature there's a quote in there, by, and again, it's Sarah McLachlan. She's the little fair singer. Yes. And she's wonderful. And to me, it's an anthem of recovery. I have no idea what it's really about, but it's called Fallen. And there's a line in there where she says, "Better I should know." And that to me is like my talisman, that when I think, like, why do I have to deal with this? I know guys who are these terrible drunks. They never tried to fix their problems. They're happy as a clam. Their kids love them because they're never there. And why do I have to be aware of this? And I think, well, better I should know. It's better I know about this and I can face it. And so to me, these are like, charms on a bracelet. These are things that I was very worried that I was writing a book for myself. I just found out today the book went into the 5th printing. And so it's a terrible time keeping it in Amazon, because Amazon, no matter what the University of Chicago Press sends, they sell them all. And then I'm getting these sort of grief-stricken, and it's not a panacea. I don't want to say, read my book and you'll find sobriety, because it's hard. But that's why we originally called it A Guide to Recovery. We changed it to Companion. It's supposed to, it's a lonely thing, recovery. I find it. That's why people go to meetings. Okay, you're trying to get other people because you're in, you've got this terrible slavery you're trying to throw off, and it just feels like you're by yourself. And you're not by yourself. This is something that Plato wrote about. The only reason I know it was I took Plato in college, and I still had my copy, and it was still marked up, and he's still having this conversation going, now let's see, sometimes people drink and sometimes people don't. And they go through it, and it's really sort of a beautiful synopsis of the idea, they call it meta thinking in rehab. I'm sure you're familiar, where you really want to do something and you step back and you go, oh, I really want to do this. I'm not going to do it because it'll pass in an hour. But if I, where you look at your own, where you try to distance yourself from your own passions. Yes. And the fact that Plato was talking about it thousands of years ago, I think sort of makes you, none of these people are dumb people. And some of them express things in ways that the moment I read it, I went, yes. There's Petrarch. I'm a big Dante fan, and he came just after Dante, and he has an essay called Climbing Mount Within Two. It's actually about the first mountain climbing story, where in the 1350s, him and his brother climbed this mountain too, and he's thinking about sin. I repurposed some of these quotes, and so he's saying, actually I don't know what he's talking about, but what he says, to me it's booze. He says, the thing I love, I no longer love. No, I'm lying. The thing I love, but more covertly. And he goes through all these different levels of what his feeling towards this thing was that he used to love, and how now this rebellious spirit has opened up in him, and he's trying to push the love away. And I went, that's it. And once I had found that, I kind of felt like I had to, because most people aren't reading Petrarch's Climbing Mountain too. I am a pointy-headed guy. and I'm amazed at the stuff I get into the Chicago Sun-Times sometimes, because I do columns about poetry, I do columns about Samuel Johnson, because I think that it's our job to make things interesting. This stuff is interesting. Look, there's a one line in there from Virgil, yield not to evils, which I memorized in Latin, tu necidi malis. And that to me is like the fire axe behind the glass. If you go into the New Year's Eve party and there's a bar and the booze is there, you kind of go, oh, look, God, they got Knob Creek. I love Knob Creek. And you go, no, yield not to evils, but go forth all the more boldly to face them. That's a plan. That's something you should have in your pocket. At least I do. I have it on my wall in my office, tu necidi malis, yield not to evils.